All right, bang bang. Today is Wednesday. It is June 16th. Excuse me. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Today, my guest joining me on Zoom is Uncle Mitch, the ice cream man. Uncle Mitch, how we doing?
Good. How you doing, Ed?
Good. So, if people are asking me why I'm calling him Uncle Mitch, Mitch, you are actually Rear Admiral. You're his uncle.
That's what they say. I'm not completely sure of that, but I think so.
which is hilarious. So you're in Boston then, right?
Yeah. Actually in Charlestown, which is part of Boston.
There we go. Okay, so you're from Charlestown. People are gonna love this. So Rear Ad, he's been on I think 2 drafts so far. So you guys should be. He's also been on a regular episode, so you should be well familiar with Tim Chiclet's guy. Uncle Mitch, thanks for doing this, man.
No problem, man.
So it's ice cream week, Uncle Mitch. So I'm pumped to have you on. It was a good day. You said you were able to do this because it's raining in Boston currently.
It's raining. Yeah, it was raining pretty good, actually.
So what's the deal? It's just as soon as you see rain, it's an off day? It's like a baseball game?
Yeah. Well, you know something, Ed? I've been doing this for about 30 years. And being kind of a stupid Irish guy from Charlestown, I used to sit there in the rain for years and go, why the hell isn't anyone buying anything? Well, guess what? People don't buy ice cream in the rain because they don't want to. If they're walking in the rain, they're fine, but they don't want to stop and get wet while they're standing in the truck. So it took me about 20 years to figure out I wasn't going to sell any ice cream in the rain. So now when it rains, I take the day off.
And you were joking with me beforehand. You're like, yeah, on rain days I sell umbrellas, and I took the bait. And you're like, no, I'm just kidding. Don't listen to what I'm saying. But I mean, why not? Why not switch up to an umbrella shop during the days?
Yeah, the truck. I'd have to have about. I need some upfront money to buy some umbrellas. Maybe Brian will lend me some money.
He should, right? He take the Pink Whitney money and toss you some umbrellas, Uncle Mitch. That'd be nice.
Yeah, they won't be Bears umbrellas though, because I'm still a little pissed about 1985. So we won't go there.
Okay, all right, that's fair. So, Uncle Mitch, how'd you become an ice cream man?
I had a judge in Florida who was ready to put me in jail for child support, so I had no choice. I better buy this ice cream truck, or I'm gonna be in jail. So that sounds crazy, but it's true.
Wait, no, actually. Wait, that's
true.
Okay, all right. So why? But like, how'd you land on that? Like, you didn't want to, like, sales wasn't in the cards for you?
I worked for this guy, the kid that used to own the ice cream truck. Me and him grew up together. And he had the truck for 20 years, and he made a ton of money. So about 10 years ago, he had his own band, and he didn't want to do the ice cream truck anymore. He was burnt out. So he sold me the truck about 10 years ago. So I've actually owned the truck for about 10 years now.
Okay, so you own the truck, you bought it from him. And what? Yeah. So but you've been doing it for 30 years, so it was just like a co-op kind of thing before that?
Well, he owned the truck, and I'd work for him, and he'd pay me. And then ironically, Brian's other aunt, Patty, she did an ice cream truck before me for like 20 years. So my family's been selling ice cream for about 50 years in the neighborhood, actually.
Wow. And how did you, is it a scoop truck? Do you sell bars? What is it primarily?
Yeah, I sell mostly frozen stuff, and I do scoop ice cream. I used to have a soft serve. Actually, believe it or not, this truck is the original food truck in the whole country. At one time, we had a pizza oven on this truck, like 25 years ago. We made pizzas and we made everything, and then I didn't want to make pizzas anymore because the truck was too hot. So I still scoop ice cream, like vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, but mostly I sell choco tacos and
Spider-Man bars and all that SpongeBob.
Yeah.
People love the SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's easy to just hand them. Yeah, the sponge. I stopped selling SpongeBob's because my neighborhood got a little uppity, and the kids' clothes were getting ruined. So we used to call them shitbobs, Sponge Pants, actually. So we had to get rid of the SpongeBobs. These kids were ruining their $100 shirt, so shitbob Sponge Pants went out the window.
Well, okay, so going back, what do you mean you were the original food truck?
Well, because I was the first one to sell food like pizza off a truck. Nobody did that back then in Boston. You know what I mean? You were either an ice cream truck or you were a pizza truck. You weren't both. The truck's a 1984 truck, and Actually, Paul Revere used to come to this truck. That's how long I've been doing this. You know Paul Revere, the famous guy that drove around Boston.
He used to stop by for a cone.
Saying the British are coming.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And you said, well, one day you were just sweating your balls off, and you're like, I'm done with the pizza.
Yeah. And so we took the pizza and we put a counter in there. So yeah, we just no pizza. The previous owner, he says, come here, let me show you how to make these pizzas. I go, no, I don't do pizza. So that was the end of the pizza oven.
So if you could choose, would you go full bar? Like the scooping, that's probably a pain in the ass, no?
Yeah, that's more difficult. Oh no, I'd rather hand somebody a Choco Taco. It's the same amount of money and a lot less work. Scooping ice cream is difficult. I'm getting a little old here, Ed. I'm 65, so my hands don't work as good as they used to.
Yeah.
So scooping ice cream can be it's a little hard because the ice cream's frozen. You got to dig in, and, so it's the profit margins.
Do you feel like we have quick hands?
Oh yeah, look at these hands. What, are you kidding me?
Those are fast. Those are fast, Uncle Mitch. Look at those things. So, all right. So just to rehash the story here. So you needed to pay child support. Yep. So you started working on an ice cream truck with your buddy.
Yeah.
And you bought the truck 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then about when did you get rid of the pizza?
About a week after I bought the truck.
Oh, so you were instantly, you're like, hey, my rules, truck. Pizza's
the truck
dead.
Is hot. The truck is hot, Ed, and then the pizza oven, forget about it.
But isn't it like, you didn't have like a curtain that would split the pizza and the ice cream? You could just go to the cool side?
Nah, the truck's, no. Plus, here's the other thing, Ed. If people come to a truck and buy a slice of pizza, they don't buy ice cream. They buy either or. So you weren't making any extra money. You know, they're not going to buy pizza and an ice cream. They're only going to buy one of them. So, the profit, it's just, I'd rather have them buy an ice cream than a slice of pizza.
That's a good point. That's a very good point, because you're not going to...
Like if you go to a hot dog truck, you want a hot dog. You don't want a slice of pizza. It's kind of weird, but that's just the way it works.
Yeah, that's like I feel people go into that predicament, like if they go to like a diner or something, have a milkshake and like a meal. Like, I don't know. I've always found that weird,
I used to make, and see in Boston, we call them fraps. You guys are a little bit weird in Chicago because you call them milkshakes, but we call them fraps. And I used to make hot fudge sundaes and banana boats and fraps. But what happens is, as you're making a banana boat, it takes you about 3 or 4 minutes to make one, and then people that are waiting in line they lose their patience and they walk away. So I wasn't making any extra money. I was losing money because people were leaving the line. So I stopped doing all that stuff a couple of years ago.
Damn, that's good to know.
I keep everything simple. Eddie, actually, I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm an ice cream man, but there's the Bunker Hill Monument right in Charlestown, which is a famous monument. It commemorates the battle that we fought with the British in 1776, 75. And they go to the top of this monument, and when they come down, they need water. And guess who's sitting there selling them water, Ed?
You.
Me.
You're there.
And a lot of my friends were bank robbers, but I decided to just rob the tourist instead. So I get $2 a bottle, and then, so that adds up pretty quick, That's a good way to get. I mean, if they got a Yankees hat on, it's $3 a bottle.
Yeah. So, but I know I like that too. I know you're kidding, but let's get into that. You're a stationary truck too, right? Like you don't.
Yeah, I used to drive around to the whole neighborhood, but the truck doesn't run that well anymore. So I just sit in one spot, and everybody comes to me. It's. Again, for years I drove around, and I was like, what a stupid Irishman I am. What the hell am I driving around for? Just sit right here and let everybody walk up to you and give you the money. Why chase them around? You know what I mean? So
wait, so why? Do you get the same spot every day though, or no?
Yeah, I get the same spot every day because, like I say, this is an old Irish Catholic neighborhood, and I had a battle for the spot. I had to hold on to the hand grenades for a few years, but I don't need those anymore.
So it's no problem. It's like, hey, this is Uncle Mitch's spot. Nobody else is coming there.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's great. Then I feel like you figured it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
No, I will, because I see these guys. I know it's a thing. I don't know how big it is in Boston, but in Chicago, I know a lot of the ice cream men, like they have to be across the street from the park. I've noticed, because they can't be on like park property or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Would you face the same issues?
Well, at one time I was up where the monument is, which is federal property, and we had a battle. I had a battle with the federal government. They threw me out of there, and the whole town got together and we had this big meeting. And I was on the front page of the Boston Globe. I was on, what's that show, Brian, in the morning? Wally, the show in the morning in Boston.
Oh, Lauren and Wally.
Lauren and Wally. I was on their show. I was on the front page. PBS wanted to do a whole United States thing. Anyway, long story short, the federal government was getting bad press. So then they gave me a permit and they let me sit up right near the monument. And then a year later, they turned around and took the permit away from me. So now I'm down the street a little ways. But ironically, it was on the Freedom Trail. And you'll find out that the Freedom Trail doesn't mean that it's free because the federal government threw me off of it.
Oh, that's good to know.
That's a whole nother story. We can do a chapter on that another time.
So what? The headlines were just like local ice cream man takes on the Boston government. It was just
yeah. Well, the federal government.
Federal government. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I won the battle, but lost the war because now eventually they did throw me out of there.
What's the difference between truck guys, bicycle guys, and the guys that are walking? What's the difference?
Well, we don't have too many. There's actually not too many ice cream trucks left in Charlestown.
Oh, really?
I mean, in Boston, yeah. There's a few in a couple of neighboring neighborhoods, but there's only one or two guys that actually do my neighborhood, me and this other guy. And other than that, there's really no bike. Don't forget, Boston's a lot smaller than Chicago, so we don't have that many ice cream people around, to be honest with you.
Yeah. What's the what's the best seller? What do you? What bar do you sell the most of?
The $10 joints sell pretty good.
But be honest though, how many people come up looking for green?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I have that question on my list.
No, I don't even smoke. I haven't smoked in 30 years, but it might make up for my water issue. I'm not selling that much water. So, but no, actually, I sell a lot of creamsicles. Remember the old orange creamsicles?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I sell a lot of choco tacos, and I sell a lot of ice cream sandwiches, the cookie sandwiches, the ones with the chips on them. Yeah, they call them chip witches or whatever.
Uncle Mitch, what if I told you we did a little kind of fun draft over here a couple days ago, and I took the chip witch. I said the chip witch, I think it's one of the best, and I said I like the creamsicle, and all the other guys booed me out of the room.
Oh, you want me coming straighten them out for you?
I would like that, Uncle Mitch. Like, what the fuck? See, people need to know these are best sellers I'm talking about. They're the ones that are on the outside. They're in the minority.
Yeah, definitely. So, but here's the deal that I get people. Of course, that's not happening this year. Last year, I actually shut down because of the virus. It was the first time in 30 years I didn't work. But normally, I get a lot of foreign people in June, July, and August. I get people every single day. I get people from England, Ireland, Germany, China, Japan. I mean, this is every single day. I get beautiful women coming to my ice cream truck from different countries. It's unbelievable. I mean, I don't even care if I'm selling ice cream. I'm just the scenery alone is fantastic. You know what I mean? It's amazing, beautiful woman from all over the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, it's one of the top benefits of the ice cream truck. Trust me. Actually, I have a 10-year-old son from a girl that came to my ice cream truck about 25 years ago. But that's a whole nother story.
There we go. Hey, get ready. You got at least 8 more years on the truck to pay that one off too.
Well, he works on the truck now.
Does he?
He works for about 30 seconds because that's about his attention. Mine's only about 40 seconds. His is about 30, and then he asked me for an ice cream, and then he gets on his hoverboard and goes down the street and rides around on his hoverboard. But both my daughters work on the truck. They're 33 and 34, and they kind of paid their way through college. They used to come up in the summertime and work on the truck for me. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of a crew there.
Yeah, they live in San Diego now. So.
Hey guys, let's take a real quick break here to talk about Chevy Drive Chicago. Chicagoland summer is here. Everything's opening. Summer travel is being planned. I know you're sitting there. You're like, oh, man, I got to get up to New Buffalo. I got to get up to Lake Geneva. Oh, I'm going northern Wisconsin. I'm going to do some fishing. You got to make sure you're not on the side of the road broke down, okay? You got to make sure you're not on the side of the road. You went on a smooth road. You need to just keep going, and you need to make sure everything goes okay. And that happens by getting your tires checked, getting the oil changed, and making sure everything's nice and tuned up, okay? So go to your local Chevy dealership to do that because they want to help you. They want to make sure everything's fine. They want to make sure everything's good. Also, they're here to hook you up as well because they're giving out a $300 gas card giveaway this month. Simply head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to enter to win. While you're there, check out the latest offers, service tips, and tricks, and find your local Chevy dealer. Head to ChevyDriveChicago.com today and make sure you're getting that car taken care of at a good, nice Chevy dealership who's going to give you a nice, fair price and do a great job while they do that. So go to ChevyDriveChicago.com, get that done. And also make sure you go to the Barstool Sports Store. We're selling these ice cream shirts. It's ice cream week, baby. You see, if you're watching the ad right now on video, I know a little spliced out, not the same situation where I was in the studio. I had to do this a little differently, but you see the Chipwood shirt, go get a Chipwood shirt, go get a Firecracker Bomb Pop, whatever you call it, the Ice Cream Man logo. A lot of good stuff there. Go do it. All right, let's get back to Uncle Mitch.
So you said bestsellers, Creamsicle, Chipwich, Choco Taco. And is there any bar that has gone extinct or is discontinued that people always ask about?
Any bar?
Yeah, is there any type of, old school ones that like Good Humor got rid of or whatnot?
No, I sell a lot of fudgicles too. Remember the old fudgicle?
Yeah.
There's actually one. Somebody asked me for it the other day. It was like a baseball mitt or whatever.
Oh, the bubble play.
Yeah, how'd you know that, Ed? I don't even know the name of
Uncle
that
Mitch, I don't fuck around with this. But after baseball games, like I played baseball just so I could go to the truck afterwards. Like that's
wild. It was a bubble play. Actually, a little league team asked me to come down to the field Saturday and sell them ice cream. So, but bubble play. Yeah, and then like I said, I stopped selling SpongeBob and all those because the kids' clothes were getting stained and the mothers were yelling at me.
Are you serious? Would they really yell at you? They'd take it out of you?
Well, no, they wouldn't yell at me. They're like, oh, my God, these things stain and this and that and everything. Because they really do stain. Like SpongeBob and Tweety Bird and Bugs Bunny, all those characters.
Yeah. How about the Great White Shark? You remember that one?
Oh, Eddie, they don't make them anymore.
Why'd they stop?
I don't know. I got kids crying still. I had a kid about last year. He comes up and says, how come I don't make the Great White Sharks? Probably because I ate most of them because I get thirsty. So I only eat like 3 or 4 a day. So I've limited myself. I cut back from like 6 a day to about 3 a day.
That's on the list. Be honest. Are you slamming ice cream in that truck?
Oh, of course. I have a creamsicle every day for breakfast. I make believe it's orange juice.
No, but for real, do you have ice cream or you're kind of sick of it? Or
not? Oh yeah. Oh, you know what's good is the candy center crunches too. Those are the best.
Okay.
I sell a lot of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have 3 a day.
Yeah, sometimes. Snow cones too. Last week it was hot, so I ate a bunch of snow cones.
What's your high? Like, what's the most? One day is real hot.
I could do 6 easy. Look at Eddie. Look at this. What do you think my high is?
And how many children do you just see fucking lose it every day at the truck?
Oh, don't get me going on that one because I got to be careful because these are my customers.
What do you mean they're all tourists? You said the next plane flies in.
You get the indecisive child, and he stands there for like 10 minutes, and the parents go through every single ice cream on the board. And then finally, because I'm pretty patient, I've been doing this for a long time. And then finally I'll go, that's all right, take your time. And 15 minutes later, the kid, and it's always the same kids. And I feel bad because they're indecisive and the parents go through the whole list. And then finally the parents usually lose it and go, come on, just pick up fucking ice cream. I can't say that to them, even though I want to, you know what I mean? But I don't.
Yeah. And is there like a default? You don't recommend like, hey, what about this? Just take it, get out of the way.
Yeah. Sometimes if I have a line and then I tell them they can only change their mind once, so they all know the rules. You know what I mean? Like you can only change your mind once. We're not going to do this 5 times. You change your mind once, you get one change, and that's the rule.
So who knew?
The second time, Oh yeah. No, I got a lot of rules on the truck. You know, they have to say please and thank you. I give them all a napkin.
What if a kid drops it?
He gets a free one. But then I just charge the next tourist double. See, I get a lot of, I get a lot of local people, but I get mostly tourists.
Okay.
So if a kid drops one, the next time the tourist comes up, I just whack the dollar on him. It's a tourist tax.
Okay, sorry. I cut you off though. What's the rules? I'll go over the rules one more time. So you get one option. You get one.
Yeah, they got to say please and thank you because my grandfather made me say please and thank you. Everything. They got to be polite. There's no crying at the truck. Nobody's allowed to cry at the truck. If they cry, they don't. they get pushed aside. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So but here's the funny thing, Eddie. A couple of years ago, before the Cubs won the World Series, the people would walk by my truck with the Cubs hat on, and they would get halfway across the street, and I'd yell out to them. I go, "This is a lucky truck, you know. If you guys come back here and buy ice cream, the Cubs will win the World Series." So they would stop in their tracks, and they'd be like, "Man, this guy's friggin' scheming us." But they all turned around and come back and bought ice cream, and that was the year the Cubs won the World Series. So the very next year, the same people would come and go, "Hey, give me some more of that ice cream, will you?" So it was kind of funny because they would be literally halfway across the street, turn around and come back. So
I mean, that's genius. I mean, how superstitious sports fans are. Like, listen.
Yeah. Oh, I put the guilt trip on. Some of them would almost get hit by a car coming back to the truck.
Start doing that with Bears fans. I promise you, you'll have fucking Chicago sports fans all over the place over there.
So about 7 years ago, I was in Chicago, and I went to Wrigley Field, which was beautiful. They lost every game, of course, but then U2 was playing at Soldiers Field, so I left Wrigley and I went to Soldiers Field that night and saw U2. I didn't even know they were there, and but it was painful going into Soldiers Field, even though the Super Bowl wasn't in Soldiers Field. I still had tears in my eyes. It was painful. It was painful. So. But I did it because I wanted to see you too. So
there you go.
But, yeah. So but it was painful.
There you go.
It was a beautiful stadium.
Got over the pain, yeah.
Yeah, almost. I'm almost over it. But that was the first year the Patriots made the Super Bowl, and I was only a kid almost. I was only about 60 at that time. So
that's fascinating, though. So it's people being indecisive and the banana splits. Which take time.
We call them banana boats because that little plastic thing that comes in, that's like a boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, boats, fraps. You guys are weird up there. I got you.
Yeah.
And that's time is your money. Like legit. I know people say time is money. Time is actually your money, Uncle Mitch, huh?
Yeah. So the other thing I did when I was in Chicago, which was really cool, somebody told me to take the architectural tour, but I was a little bit nervous, Ed, because I grew up in a rough neighborhood. This is a rough neighborhood. This is the same neighborhood the movie The Town was filmed in, which is a true story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I was a little nervous doing the architectural tour because if my friends saw me doing that tour, they would have beat the shit out of me. But I did it. I sucked it up and I did it.
It's okay. Fantastic. Yeah, you didn't lose any street cred in Charlestown. You're fine. You're fine. I love this, Uncle Mitch. This is. I feel like you need to have a podcast now because you showed up. We're talking ice cream, Matt, and you're like, "Hey, I got the mic. This is Uncle Mitch's stand-up hour at this point."
I got a million stories more, Ed, but I can't tell a lot of them on this thing, even though it's a podcast. We still got to be filtered here. You know what I mean?
Do a lot of people use the birthday trick to get free ice creams? Like, what do you?
Yeah, one kid used it the other day, and because I told him, this is what I tell him. Because the kid come to me that day, he said, "Next week's my birthday." I go, "All right, come to the truck and I'll give you a free." I go, "But don't friggin' tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. I don't want every kid coming to this truck and doing the birthday trick." You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And I had a kid the other day, and he came to the truck, and you're only allowed one ice cream per day. That's what I tell all the neighborhood kids. So this kid come to the truck, and his face was all smeared with ice cream. His mother's a good friend of mine. He lives right across the street. And I go, he goes, "I want a mall cup or whatever." And I go, "You can't get an ice cream. You already had one." No, I didn't. And his mother was standing right there. And I go, "Turn around and show your mother your face." And he had ice cream all smeared all over his face. And he still tried to lie that he didn't have an ice cream yet. So he didn't get the second one.
There you go.
Pretty funny.
That's
he's about 9 years old. He tried to lie his way into another ice cream.
What's the worst? What's the worst thing you've seen in the truck or on the trail or driving around?
Well, I get, you know how tourists are. They're just, and they're my customers, so I don't want to badmouth them. But
They'll
they're
never
dumb.
know.
They're dumb. They're just dumb. They come to the ice cream truck and they look at me with a dead serious face, and they look at me and go, "Are you selling ice cream?" I'm like, "Are you freaking shitting me? Do you want me to strangle you right here?" No. I'm selling umbrellas. Of course I'm selling ice cream. Like, why would you come up to me and look at me and go, "Are you selling ice cream?" I was like, "Are you shitting me? What the hell's wrong with your brain?" I think most of those are the Chicago people.
It's usually us, the Midwesterners, huh? So that's pretty good. Is there anything Anything else here, Uncle Mitch, that we didn't get to that people want to know? What's the worst ice cream that you're shocked that they're still selling it? It's always got the freezer burn when you pull it out of the coolers, or anything that's like that, or you just pull it out?
You know what's funny? I sell a lot of strawberry shortcakes too.
Oh yeah.
And I don't eat them. That's the only one I don't eat because I don't like strawberry ice cream. I'll eat fresh strawberries. The worst thing is I don't know. That's tricky. I'm trying to. Well, I sell those stupid strawberry fruit bars, which I wouldn't eat one of them if I was in the desert dying. But people buy those things too. So
okay.
They have a coconut one that's pretty good, so I sell some of those. But the strawberry fruit bars, I don't understand why people eat those ones, but I sell them. So that's probably the worst one.
You said you got a million stories. Can you give me a good one, a good ice cream one here? The people would love to hear it, I'm sure.
Well, you asked me how I got into the ice cream business originally, because technically by trade in my town, Charlestown, I was supposed to be a bank robber. But after looking at all my friends a lot of my friends live in gated communities, put it that way. That's what we call them. And I was like, something, I don't think the bank robbery stuff's going to work out too good for me. So I think I'm going to go sell ice cream. So actually, a friend of mine just come by the other day, and he did like 17 years, so he was ready for some ice cream. This is the thing where you've said so many out of the box stories here, where people don't know if it's true or not. This actually might have some truth here. Oh no, that's true. Trust me.
Because I've talked to your nephew, and he said like he's at there's at Charlestown like.
Oh, I got a good story, Ed.
So what you guys do is rob banks.
Well, some of us.
Some of you.
And
sorry.
I rob the tourists. That's easier. So 10 years ago, Ben Affleck came to my truck. And
is this serious or is this?
Oh no, this is serious. He's kind of an ass. My daughter was working on the truck, so my daughter was all goo eyes. Oh, Ben, but
yeah.
He didn't even come over. He sent one of his cronies over, and he comes over and says to me, we're thinking about using hey, do you think maybe we could? He comes over and says, we're thinking about using your ice cream truck in the movie. And I go, oh really? I go, yeah. I go, so how much are you gonna pay me? And he goes, I don't know. We're going to need the truck for like 4 or 5 days. Not like, can we, he was almost like demanding. And meanwhile, Affleck was standing about 10 yards away. He didn't even come over and say hi to me or anything. So the guy says, I don't know, we're going to need the truck for like 4 or 5 days. And I get a little more adamant. I go, being the good Irish boy I am, I said, how much are you going to pay me? And he's like, I don't know, $500, maybe a little bit more. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I said, I make more than that in a day. So he got pissed and walked away. So I wasn't in the movie. But I didn't know it was going to be that good of a movie yet, because I'm already famous, but I would have been really famous if my ice cream truck was in the movie.
The town? Was it the town?
Yeah, the town.
Yeah.
The town, yeah.
Wow. Really? So you could have been in the town with Brian, huh?
Yeah, I could have been in the town, yeah. But I didn't like Ben Affleck, so I told him pretty much to go shove it.
Do you still dislike him? Do you boycott his movies?
Well, the movie was pretty good. I don't dislike him, but he's from Cambridge, and we used to beat those kids up all the time because they were a bunch of wimps.
So it makes over $500 a day, you're telling me, your truck?
Well, yeah, but don't tell anybody that.
Over $850, over under?
Mostly under. Again, I get a lot of tourists, and most of that money is from water. I sell a lot of water.
Water's the move, man. That's good to know.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
A lot of water.
So if they
got a Yankees hat on, they get charged double. Now, the kids with the Yankees hat on, I go, look, you're not getting any ice cream. And they look at me like I'm kidding. I go, no, seriously, you're not getting any ice cream unless you take the damn hat off. And they take the hat off in 2 seconds. The Cubs fans, they will not take the hat off.
Are you the
Yankees fans? The kids fold like a big wimp. The Yankees kids.
I like that. Are you the type of guy? So you're such a Boston guy. You probably have like Mark Wahlberg posters in your room, huh?
No, but Mark's pretty cool though. He's a Dorchester kid. He grew up just like us. You know what I mean?
So you like him, huh?
Yeah. Well, we fought every day. We drank and fought every day, and then when we were done, we drank some more and fought some more. After that, it was just something to do. You know what I mean? We were kind of bored back then.
Uncle Mitch, I got to tell you, you might be a regular at this. You might have to come back on. I feel like we haven't even broke the surface on you, like you are.
Yeah. Like I say, it's. You know something though? One more story and I'll let you go.
Yeah.
I used to have an ice cream truck in Florida, right? I didn't make any money at all because the kids in Florida are inside an air-conditioned house, and they're playing on video games, and they don't even know the stupid ice cream guys outside playing music. And I couldn't figure it out. I go, where the hell are these kids? And then I figured out they didn't know I was outside because they couldn't hear me. I used to do this mobile park home. These little 2-year-old kids would run out naked and throw pennies on my counter, and my daughters would be on the truck, and I'd look at my daughters and go, are you shitting me? I go, I got to do something else here. This is not going to work. And that was 25 years ago, and I'm still doing it. But I had a judge one time, Judge Lenderman, and I don't give a shit if he hears this because he's a big fat shit asshole, John Lenderman. And anyway, so he gets me in court because I was struggling paying my child support. I was trying to do the best I could, and he kept trying to put me in jail. And I was like, so you know what he says to me, Ed?
What?
He looks at me and said, Mr. Peters. And the truck was a beat up old ice cream truck. It broke down 2 or 3 times a week. Mr. Peters, he says, you seem like a pretty intelligent young man. Why don't you get a real job? Ed, I almost went to jail for murder. I had to restrain myself from jumping up and strangling Judge Lenderman. And here it is 30 years later, and that fat shit caused more misery in people's lives, and he's telling me to get a real job. Oh my God, I'm still livid. Don't get me going on Judge Lenderman.
So I'll leave you with that. That would have been my last question. Does Judge Lenderman make you more fired up, or how many times you've heard the ice cream jingle? Does that's got to make you want to kill someone too?
Oh yeah. Well, see, I'm in a residential neighborhood, so I don't even have to play the music because I'm right on the Freedom Trail.
But when you weren't, I'll say.
Oh no, I played the music. Oh yeah, I don't hear it. It's once that music goes on, your brain just like shrinks, and you can't hear that music. It's kind of like it's kind of like you guys do your podcast.
Yeah.
You don't stay up all night listening to it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So no, the music though. Somebody asked me to put the music on the other day, and I put it on, and the residents started throwing bottles out the windows at me immediately.
There you go. And then just last question for bookkeeping purposes: have you ever killed a man?
No.
Okay.
No, except myself. Look at this stomach. I'm working on myself right now.
All right, Uncle Mitch. Thank you. Can you get Brian? Can you get Rear Ad real quick?
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's nice to talk to you.
I'm just curious. Yeah. All right, Thanks, Uncle Mitch. Appreciate it. Rear Ad's hopping in here. We got a guest appearance. What's
up, buddy?
What's up? All right, we're still live. So how much of that was factual and not?
I mean, he's an entertainer. I was kind of in the background. I wasn't catching everything. I'm sure it might have been a little salt and pepper in there, but all for the entertainment factor.
Awesome. Rear Admiral, thank you. Uncle Mitch is great. We're gonna have to have him on again sometime.
Absolute character. I'm sure he's probably got another job. He did some other point in time. If you were looking for a 70s grass dealer, he could probably do the same thing for you.
Awesome.
Rear,
right, thanks again, man. All right, everybody, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with an ice cream shop owner. Make sure you go pick up those T-shirts at the Barstool Sports Store as well. That's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.